Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about some of the most creative rappers of all time. I mean, when it comes to the most creative rapper of all time, right, there's so many creative rappers, but to me, I know it's all subjective because there are a lot of rappers that they bring so much like diverse topics to the table, just the way they make their music videos. So it's all subjective, but this is, in my opinion, the most creative rappers I've seen. Basically, there's so many creative ones, and let me actually clarify some of the creativity here. I'm referring to like their diversity and the type of music they made, basically. And sometimes like some of them made some records that it's just, you don't see a lot of rappers doing those type of records. And sometimes when they make records like this, it may make them look odd or weird, but it actually works. It shows their creativity. They're not afraid to do something that nobody's doing, right? So let's just get right into it. Right off the bat, I'll start out with, to me, he's probably one of the most creative ever. I'll say Ludacris. I love Ludacris. I think Ludacris to me is probably one of the most underrated rappers of all time. I felt like Luda always brought something different, something fresh to the table. And Ludacris was so gifted lyrically, right? I mean, this dude had bars. His voice is just so golden. Like Ludacris is one of those rappers, right, with a great rapping voice that whenever he hops on a record, you know that is Ludacris. Like his voice just is so like is deep and is just so strong. Like he rides the beat. You know what I'm saying? There are a few rappers that have that type of voice, basically. You know, Jadakiss is one of them. You know, as soon as you hear their voice, you know, okay, yes, this dude, you know, this is that rapper. And Ludacris is one of them. And Luda, you know, was so creative when it came to the type of music he made, especially his music videos, right? Ludacris was just so goddamn funny. Bro, like, if you think about it, you know, from like Rollout, for an example, right? Rollout is a very good record produced by Timbaland. That record was fire in every type of way. And Luda's just, his verse was ridiculous. Plus the music video was just was on a whole different level. When you think about it, right? You know, Ludacris had the, you know, the big ass head with a little body, like the bobblehead, right? So hilarious. The other record he did, I think it was Stand Up. Yeah, Stand Up was one of my favorite records. I mean, Luda just murdered it. You know, he had the different scene. He had the afro, the big ass afro, the scene where he had the big ass shoe. It seemed like a big ass Air Force Ones. He had the midget hanging from his medallion. That was fire. I mean, it was just, Ludacris was not afraid to do records or make music videos that was just so different. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially at that time, you know, hip hop, during this period of time, hip hop was very creative, but you know, a lot of rappers always want to maintain their, I guess, like their hard street image. Do you know what I'm saying? The whole gangster thing or whatever. But Ludacris, you know, just did his own thing and it worked. So definitely Ludacris, you know, as I said, he's made so many dope ass creative music video. Think about, is it Get Back with his big ass hands? That was fire. The Austin Powers cameo, that was dope too. Do you get what I'm saying? Wore different outfits, played different character in that music video. It's Ludacris, man. Ludacris is just so underrated, but so gifted and ultra creative, man. Shout out to Ludacris, man. Another rapper I feel like was so creative. To me, she's probably like my top 2, top 3 best female rappers of all time. Probably my top 2. Missy Elliott. I feel Missy Elliott, when it came to just, especially her music videos, Missy Elliott was on a whole different, like, she may have the best music videos ever, the most creative. You know, like you think about Get My Freak On. Oh, the music video, the way it starts, Timbaland's production for the song, and the dancer she always had in her music video, man, they need to win awards because they were always killing it. I mean, Missy Elliott was ridiculous, man. Get Your Freak On, Work It was a ridiculous record. Fire. The creativity in that record. Lose Control was ridiculous. It seemed like, and I think she won a lot of VMAs for those music videos. It just seemed like every music video she put out at a time was just so creative, so different, fire every single time. She was consistent. Like Gossip Folks was ridiculous. That had Missy Elliott and Ludacris on that record. That was still some of my best record till today. Ridiculous. Luda's verse murdered it. So yeah, Missy Elliott for sure has always been consistent in, you know, making very creative video. If we keep going, I think another rapper that is just, I mean, we know how creative this rapper is. I mean, I don't want to have to say it. Eminem, man. Like, see, Eminem to me is one of the most diverse creative rappers of all time. He's definitely in that list. As I said, Eminem, he's a white guy, and the thing is, a lot of white guys sometimes, right, in hip hip hop, like a lot of white guys that become rappers, you know, they understand because, you know, this is a genre that's heavily dominated by blacks, right? And sometimes you have this set of white boys that they try to be hard, but they're not really hard. And don't get me wrong, that goes for black rappers too. But Eminem is who he is, right? And you gotta understand, Eminem came from like one of the worst ghettos in America. Like, you know, I think he's from 8 Mile or whatever, from Detroit. It's crazy. But Eminem wasn't afraid to be like, okay, see, I can do the whole gangster thing when I have to. I can talk about personal issues when I have to. I can also make fun of myself when I have to. So he made a lot of funny, creative records, which I love. Like, I'll never forget the time, you know, the first record I heard of Eminem was probably My Name Is Shady. Like, that record was so fire. My Name Is was crazy. So at that time, you know, I was a kid, and when I heard it first, and I thought it was so funny, hilarious. But I really didn't take Eminem seriously. I'll be honest. I really didn't take him seriously. I just thought he was this funny white boy. I liked the flow, but I really didn't take him seriously. Then I heard Stan, and I was like, holy shit, this dude can really rap. Like, is it the same dude? Like, the storytelling of Stan till this day is one of my favorite rap records of all time. It's just, Eminem have had so many creative records. It's ridiculous. It's like the same guy that made My Name Is, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, what's that other record he made? Like Ass Like That. He's made so many funny records, but you know, you look at it, right? It's the same guy that made My Name Is, or Ass Like That, or even the one he did with his group, My Band, that record. The same guy is the same guy that makes records like Lose Yourself, Mockingbird. These are records that are so different. You know, Eminem knows how to go from like this funny guy to this very serious guy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, he does it so well. Very creative in the way he does his records, man. His music videos, so creative. You know, Eminem, and you know, he's one of those goated rappers, bro, for sure. Lyrically gifted. At the same time, another very creative rapper, I think, is also a legend in that conversation. He's goated to Busta Rhymes, man. Busta Rhymes is so creative. When you think about the records Busta Rhymes put out, from one of the earliest records I heard from Busta Rhymes, Dangerous. I always say I love that music video. At the time when he put out that record, it was so ahead of its time. It was so unique. Put Your Hands Where I Can See Him, ridiculous. That video still today is one of the best hip hop videos ever. Ridiculous. Killed. Like, it's just so creative. Busta Rhymes' brain, man, we need to study it. It's just so fucking creative, man. Another record he put out, Break Your Neck, one of my favorites, you know, Fighting the Ram. He had all the other rappers like Ludacris that make cameos in that video. Ridiculous. So dope. That's what I'm saying. It's like Busta Rhymes is one of those few rappers that is not afraid to poke fun of himself. He can make fun of himself. He doesn't care. But he can also switch to, like, you know, I can do very serious records, you know. For sure, Busta Rhymes always just, you know, killed it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith parody, one of the great ones too. I Like My Chick or something like that, you know. So yeah, like those 4 rappers, I think they're considered probably the most creative rappers. The other rappers, obviously, I can't mention everybody. Redman too. Redman made very funny ass records too back in the days, you know. And as I said, Redman, being part of the Wu-Tang Clan, he's one of those rappers that can basically just like, he can, as I said, he can flip the switch. He can make a very serious record and also make very comedic records. So yeah. Wait, is Redman part of the Wu-Tang Clan? I know Method Man is, but you know, it's one of those questions I always had because, you know, Redman was always with Method Man. So I always just grouped him as part of the Wu-Tang Clan, but can somebody let me know? Yeah, that's one question for really, yeah. But shout out to Redman though, one of the best in terms of creativity. And I just feel like in general, modern hip hop is missing a lot of that, right? Like, we have a lot of rappers today, everybody sounds alike, everybody's talking about the same shit. You know, it'll be dope to see some creativity, you know, do records that not everybody else is doing. It's not like, you don't lose street cred in making some of this funny records that is creative. As far as it's a dope record and it's creative, I appreciate it. Like, I know DaBaby is one of the few that's trying to go that lane in some type of way, and I appreciate it. It's just, you know, people may come at DaBaby and say, oh, he only has the same flow, but at least he's one of the creative ones that are willing to go outside of his lane to do something different. You know, I think I'll definitely support more rappers that do something different like that. You know, I think the hip hop game, the music today needs it. So yeah, but yeah, that's it today. You know, I know there's so many other rappers, and let me know in the comments, you know, other creative rappers that you thought were, you know, they could make very funny or awkward records that, you know, were dope. Because that's the thing, right? You may hear some rappers that may make some like what we consider unique or creative or awkward, and the record is just garbage, just flat out garbage. So if you're gonna go that lane, I need the record to make sense, you know. But yeah, those are some of my favorite, and I'd like to know yours. Okay, see you guys next time.